I wanted to announce this before we even get into gambling.
Run.
Because I'm excited. But February 9th, for anybody that's watching from Australia, I'm coming back to Australia the first time in 8 years.
I remember when I was about like 17 years old. I was in a parking lot and I was watching Jay-Z. For me, that was really a moment that unlocked something in my mind. It made me realize that all this is possible, you know. So I want to thank him, both of them, for that moment.
Jay-Z has spoken out on Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl announcement. In a statement shared by Hot 97, Jay-Z praised Lamar's upcoming Super Bowl performance, calling him a once-in-a-generation artist.
Drake does not want Kendrick to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. That is the play here. All this is because he does not want Kendrick to perform that song at the Super Bowl. Lord child, it's nasty.
No reason why Lil Wayne should not be performing the Super Bowl. It's one person who's stopping this. I know, it's not really a secret. Lil Wayne had a problem with somebody before who's kind of part of the organization running it. This is payback. Who's Lil Wayne artist? Drake.
So the Super Bowl halftime show came and went, but the drama is just heating up. Drake, who's already been in a legal tangle with Universal Music Group, is now reportedly gearing up to sue the NFL over Kendrick Lamar's explosive performance of Not Like Us during the big show. Yep, it's going down. Sources say Drake is furious that the diss track made it to the halftime stage and is threatening legal action against both UMG and the NFL. But that's not all. Word is Jay-Z, who's been the NFL's go-to guy for music via Roc Nation since 2019, allegedly stepped in behind the scenes before the performance and shut down Drake's protests. Insiders claim Jay told him to stand down and let Kendrick have his moment. Of course, Jay and Drake have a long, complicated history, so some fans are convinced this was more than just business. It was personal. Now, Drake's fan base is in full conspiracy mode, speculating that Jay-Z used Kendrick's Super Bowl spotlight as a strategic move in an ongoing feud. Some even believe it's part of a broader play to settle old scores with Drake, Lil Wayne, and Birdman. Bottom line, the Super Bowl might be over, but the battle off the field is just getting started. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Drake really stop Kendrick from performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl with a lawsuit? That's what everyone's trying to figure out.
This just says he just doesn't want the song played at the Super Bowl. And because in a lawsuit, the NFL is going to tell Kendrick, hey, you can't play this song. You know what I'm saying? At this point, they're going to start to rehearse, you know what I'm saying, for the Super Bowl halftime show. And what the NFL is going to be like, hey, give us your set list. If Not Like Us is on that set list, they're going to be like, oh, this is involved in a lawsuit. Yeah, we don't want none.
Let's rewind for a second and talk about where the tension really started. Back in the early 2000s, right after Drake dropped his So Far Gone mixtape, Jay-Z actually reached out and gave him a major boost. He put Drake on Blueprint 3, even though he only gave him the hook. But still, that kind of spotlight from Hav, massive move for a newcomer. And the love didn't stop there. The next year, Jay jumped on Drake's debut album, Thank Me Later, for the track Light Up. But here's the twist. While Jay had to grind through 3 albums to lock in his legacy, Drake was coming in full speed, acting like he was already that guy. The energy shifted real fast. When Watch the Throne and Take Care both dropped in the same year, Drake didn't waste time throwing his first shot. On DJ Khaled's track, I'm On One, he slid in that slick line, I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take it. That wasn't just a bar. It was a bold move aimed straight at Jay-Z and Kanye. Then things got even messier when Birdman jumped in to stir the pot. He went on Tropical TV and made it crystal clear where he stood. I don't think Jay-Z is the #1 MC in no kind of way. Wayne's the best. He do the most and he make the most money. Birdman was loud with it. He said no one in the business was touching what they had going on. How can you be the best if you don't make the most money and don't do the most lyrically? Come on, man, be for real. Can't nobody mess with Wayne. And then he hit it with the knockout. If you #1 and you ain't getting no money, it don't mean nothing. Jay-Z wasn't gonna let that slide. A year later, he clapped back on Watch the Throne's lead single, snapping with, I'm like, really, half a billy? You got baby money. Keep it real, they ain't got my lady money. That was a direct hit, and everyone knew it. But Lil Wayne, he turned that diss into a full-on threat. On the track, It's Good, Wayne spit, talking about baby money? I got your baby money. Kidnap your girl. Get that how much you love your lady money. Wild. And Drake? Of course he had to slide in with his own subtle jab on the same track. He said, please pardon my brother. He's just angry at you rappers who don't have your heart and your rap stuff and got too comfy. But here's where things take a turn. By 2014, Drake opened up to Rolling Stone and admitted that Watch the Throne pushed him hard. He said it challenged him and straight up inspired him to level up creatively. After Started From the Bottom dropped, things looked like they were finally cooling off between Drake and Jay-Z. The two even linked up on the track Pound Cake / Paris Morton Music 2. And here's the kicker. Jay-Z let Drake include it on his 2013 album Nothing Was the Same, even though the track was originally supposed to go on Jay's own album Magna Carta Holy Grail, which dropped that same year.
He's definitely one of my favorite rappers and like one of my favorite people, period. So it's tough not to want to like just go off
just
and
rap.
give people those moments. Yeah, that's
right.
what I want to do is just rap.
So you have like built a nice relationship with him.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I think like one of the strongest, I think, if not the strongest.
Of all the other rappers?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's like he's just like an incredible mentor to me, and gives me great guidance. He's very, very supportive. And you
Is
know,
that a new relationship, or were you guys always cool?
no, it's always been like that. You know,
Really?
I mean, I think the more I make him proud, you know,
Aw, that's
I
so
think, yeah, like,
cute.
you know, the more I show improve, like that, the like, you know, that's where the relationship grows. You know, it's just like the more he has to say to me, you know, and I've been consistent enough to sort of deserve or warrant advice from him.
Right.
And he gives it to me, you know, and he's just I saw him last night. He's like he's the best, man, for real.
That was a big move. For a moment, it seemed like the tension was behind them, but nah, Drake couldn't help himself. He stirred the pot again. A few months after Nothing Was the Same came out, Drake sat down with Rolling Stone and threw shade at Jay-Z for constantly flexing about fine art in his lyrics. He said, it's like Hav can't drop bars these days without at least 4 art references. I'd love to collect at some point, but the whole rap art thing is starting to feel kind of corny. That comment hit hard. Jay-Z wasn't about to let that slide. Just a month later, he clapped back on Jay Electronica's We Made It remix with bars like, sorry Mrs. Drizzy for so much art talk, silly me rapping about stuff I really bought, while these rappers rap about guns they ain't shot, and a bunch of other silly stuff they ain't got. Yeah, Hav wasn't holding back, and guess what? Drake jumped right back in like he wanted the smoke. A week later, he dropped Draft Day and threw more shade with, I'm focused on making records and getting bigger. Just hits, no misses, that's for the married folk. That was a direct shot, no question, but he didn't stop there. During a Toronto Raptors playoff game against Jay-Z's Brooklyn Nets, Drake took the pettiness to a whole new level. He got on the mic and said, this is the people's team out here tonight. You know what I mean? Toronto Raptors. Jay-Z's somewhere eating a fondue plate. Now that's cold. Right after that Raptors diss, Jay-Z hit back again. This time on DJ Khaled's They Don't Love You No More. Jay didn't name names, but the shots were crystal clear. He rapped, talking down on the crown, watch them fumble you clowns. Got you wound, haters want a ball? Let me tighten up my drawstring. Wrong sport, boy. You know you soft like a lacrosse team. That was cold and aimed right at Drake. But Drake? He wasn't backing down one bit. On Summer 16, he straight up claimed the throne with the bold line, I used to want to be a Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay. He was done playing humble. He was saying he was the new Hav. Still, after all that smoke, it looked like the two tried to call a truce. They teamed up on Pop Style and fans were hyped. It was promoted like a full-on Throne reunion. But when the track dropped, Jay-Z gave us just 2 lines. That's it. And Drake? He took that as a slap in the face. Jay wasn't done checking him either. On Khaled's I Got the Keys, Jay rapped, till you're on your own, you can't be me. How we still slaves in 2016? Another slick flex about owning his masters, something Jay also bragged about earlier on We Made It. Then he added even more heat. Real life, I'm like Hav. Real life, I'm life goals. In real life, they're like me. In real life, I'm like, no. That was personal. Drake wasn't feeling that energy, so what did he do? He dropped a solo version of Pop Style on his 2016 album Views, cutting out both Jay-Z and Kanye. After that, Jay seemed to check out of the beef entirely, like he was bored with the whole thing. But Drake, he still had more to say. On his collab with 21 Savage, Sneakin', he fired back at Jay's Masters flex. You ain't own it right away. You had to wait on it. Man, I'm only 29. Have some patience with that. Plus, I never met nobody from my label. I just pop up with the music, then they pay me. And here's the real flex. By the time Drake was the same age Jay was when Reasonable Doubt dropped, Drake had already bagged a Grammy and closed out 2012 as the highest grossing tour act. Now that's a power move. Let's not forget, Jay-Z didn't even secure ownership of his masters until he was 45. And when folks started pointing that out, Jay fired up the beef again. On DJ Khaled's Shining, he snapped with 12 solo albums, all platinum. I know you ain't out here talking numbers, right? I know you ain't out here talking summers, right? That was clearly aimed at Drake, who's always bragging about chart runs and streaming stats. Then came late 2017, and Jay made another slick move during the Toronto stop of his 444 tour. He remixed Drake's own tracks, Know Yourself and KMT live on stage, right in Drake's hometown. Fans caught it fast. Some thought it was just love, but others said it was pure shade. But in true Drake fashion, he threw everyone off in June 2018. Out of nowhere, he featured Jay-Z on Talk Up from his Scorpion album. Then out of the blue again, boom. Drake and Jay were spotted posing together backstage at the Detroit stop of Jay and Beyonce's On the Run 2 tour. People were stunned. After all the jabs, it finally looked like the Cold War had thawed out. But fast forward to now, we're right back in the drama. Right after the news dropped that Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne would headline the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans, just like fans had been begging for, whispers started flying that Jay-Z was calling the shots behind the scenes. Why? Because Jay's been running the NFL's live music strategy through Roc Nation since 2019. Then things got even messier.
So I love Kendrick Lamar. I love the pop-up. I think he's one of the top artists of this generation, period. Hate the selection. It's in New Orleans. You don't get Lil Wayne. That's what we doing?
Yeah.
Listen, you don't get Lil Wayne in New Orleans for the
Hot
Super Bowl.
Boys.
Not just Hot Boys, Cash Money, all the songs Lil Wayne's done, whether it's Blink 182, there's no reason why Lil Wayne should not be performing the Super Bowl. There's one person who's stopping this. I know, it's not really a secret. Lil Wayne had a problem with somebody before who's kind of part of the organization running it. This is payback. Who's that? Who's Lil Wayne artist? Drake.
Yeah, hating at this age is crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's ridiculous. Like Mike, this some hip hop that you probably don't know what's going on, to be totally honest with you. So we'll school you behind the scenes.
Cameron and Mace threw gas on the fire, floating the theory that Jay-Z might be using Kendrick to settle old scores, not just with Drake, but with Wayne and Birdman too.
Lil Wayne not to be performing in New Orleans for the Super Bowl is egregious. And it gotta stop. It gotta stop. Mike will tell you what's going on later. It gotta stop, bro. It gotta stop, man.
Yeah, and I'm doubling down on that. Hating at this age is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
I love Lil Wayne.
It's wild, bro.
Man. I work with Lil Wayne. I love him. Great dude. Great dude.
And this has nothing towards Kendrick. If anybody deserved it, Kendrick deserved it. But there's some backstory going on.
Yeah.
While Lil Wayne is not performing the Super Bowl.
Right, I can dig it.
Yeah, that's sad. That's so sad. Yeah, that's like really sad. Like, come on, my nigga.
For real, bro.
You're that insecure, man. Like,
it's crazy.
DJ Academics backed it up, claiming this was bigger than just booking Kendrick. He pointed to Drake's 2015 diss track, Charged Up, as a possible trigger for Jay's moves now. On X, Academics wrote, Jay-Z and Roc Nation responsible for curating the Super Bowl halftime show. So now the question is this just business or revenge dressed in a halftime show? Remember that? Then DJ Academics jumped in again, posting on IG, Jay-Z set up the play. Drake ain't forget about Charged Up first. He the higher-ups. And just when it felt like this saga couldn't get any messier, Drake took it way further. Out of nowhere, he filed 2 legal petitions against his own label, Universal Music Group, accusing them of boosting the numbers for Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us, to make it go even more viral. That's wild, but here's where things get extra spicy. Fans think the real reason Drake did this wasn't about the numbers at all. They say he's just trying to sabotage Kendrick's Super Bowl performance and block him from performing Not Like Us on the biggest stage in music. According to Media Takeout, Drake even fired off a cease and desist letter to the NFL, warning them that if Kendrick performs the track, legal action is coming. One insider told the outlet that Drake's legal team made it crystal clear. If the NFL allows Kendrick to hit that stage with Not Like Us, they'll be dragged into a lawsuit right along with UMG. But here's the thing. Word on the street is the NFL isn't taking Drake's threats all that seriously. Sources close to Jay-Z say Roc Nation already warned Drake that he's playing a dangerous game if he thinks he can stop Kendrick from shining at the Super Bowl. That track is the biggest rap record of 2024, and trying to block it, that's a bold move with major consequences. Fans are already roasting the whole situation. A lot of people say if Drake tries to shut down Kendrick's performance, it'll backfire bad. And knowing how slick Kendrick is, he might not even need a mic. He could just let the crowd scream every single word. Still, Drake's not out here alone. One big name standing by him, Nicki Minaj. Yup, his former ride or die is stepping into the mix, and she's calling out Jay-Z for allegedly using Kendrick like a puppet to get revenge on Drake and Lil Wayne. We're gonna get into Nicki's side of the story in a sec. But first, what do you think about Drake threatening to sue everybody over Not Like Us? Is he protecting his name or just panicking under pressure? Because now, we gotta talk about Nicki Minaj throwing shots at Jay-Z.
You know, Drake is my baby, and cause that's how we were when we came in. So whenever I think of him, I'm like, oh, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking news, literally moments ago, Nicki Minaj took to Elon Musk's app to blast Jay-Z hard.
Nicki has been on full meltdown mode, going off for 2 days straight on social media. Why? She's convinced Jay-Z is using Kendrick Lamar as a tool to destroy Drake's career. Ever since it was announced that Kendrick would headline the Super Bowl in New Orleans, everybody's been sounding off, including Nicki, who's been tweeting like she's got something to prove. According to her, this isn't just about a halftime show, it's personal. Nicki sees it as Jay trying to get revenge on Drake, Lil Wayne, and the entire Young Money crew. And she's not holding back. But fans are shocked she's even defending Drake at all. Because let's be real, not too long ago, Nicki and Drake weren't exactly cool. They were throwing subliminals and acting distant. So her jumping in now? Yeah, that raised some eyebrows. This drama just keeps piling up, so grab a seat because it's time to break it all down.
Drake also has given me some of the best advice of my career. He's given me some great advice. He's very smart, and you can't take that away from him. And also, even when there were things happening, even when I couldn't speak to him, I think he felt, the love that I will always have.
We all know Nicki Minaj doesn't stay quiet when there's drama in the air. She's always right in the middle of it, tapping away on her screen like she's got a point to prove. And now, somehow, she's turned Kendrick's Super Bowl moment into a whole Young Money versus Roc Nation situation. In case you missed it, the internet went completely nuts after the news dropped that Kendrick Lamar will be solo headlining the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans. That makes Kendrick the first rapper ever to do it alone. No features, no co-headliners. Roc Nation, Apple Music, and the NFL made the official announcement just a few days ago. And Kendrick, he made it clear this is bigger than music. He said, rap music is still the most impactful genre to date, and I'll be there to remind the world why. They got the right one. Oof! That statement hit hard. Fans were hyped. It's a huge win for hip-hop culture, and Kendrick's been having a massive run lately. From his album to his viral beef with Drake to chart-topping hits like Not Like Us, Kendrick's name has been everywhere. But with Nicki now stirring the pot and defending Drake like it's 2012 all over again, things are spiraling fast. And this Super Bowl might just turn into a full-blown rap war on live TV. Kendrick might be the moment right now, but not everybody's cheering him on for landing the Super Bowl gig. A lot of folks think that honor should have gone to Lil Wayne, especially since the show's in New Orleans, Wayne's hometown. And let's be real, Wayne isn't just any rapper, he's a living legend, but no one seems more pressed about this than Nicki Minaj. Nicki has been going off on Twitter, convinced that Lil Wayne was snubbed. And not only that, she's pushing the idea that Jay-Z is running some master plan to take down Drake by using Kendrick as his weapon. She's throwing serious shade at Hob, even accusing him of being an industry handler. In one tweet, she wrote, "I love watching the industry play dumb time after time. LOL. The truth is the truth no matter who tells it. Picking and choosing who y'all accept truth from, then bam pow. Might tell you a joke, but won't tell you a lie. One fan quoted her saying, "That's why I believe her every time she speaks. She's never been wrong." And Nicki clapped back with, "Yup, and I never care. By the time they figure it out, it's good for them. Y'all know his next move is going to be on y'all. A certain someone is being treated so unfairly so that y'all can go back into that trance." Phew. Was that a shot at Beyonce too? Fans think it might have been. Nicki was definitely swinging with no filter. But she didn't stop there. In another tweet, she said, "Try to tell y'all, but y'all wanted brunch. I'm on a roll." Then she really let it fly with, "One dude took a knee. The other dude took the bag. He gonna get y'all in line every single time." Nicki's frustration over Lil Wayne being overlooked is one thing, but coming out and calling Jay-Z a handler in front of the world, that's next level. She clearly thinks something shady's going on behind the scenes, and she's not backing down. Whether you agree with her or not, one thing's clear. Nicki's not just mad, she's on a mission. And with every tweet, she's dragging this drama deeper into dangerous territory. This just hit a whole new level of messy, and Nicki Minaj clearly doesn't care who gets offended at this point. She's blasting Jay-Z nonstop, claiming he's using his wealth and industry power to keep black artists in line. In one wild tweet, she threw heavy shade without naming names, saying, "God, everything in the world's still spiteful and evil, disgusting. Be happy, I beg. Go be happy, ninja, in rap business, in women's business, when you got the politicians and the police. You good though? Plus that ugly Laffy Taffy alien." Whew, she let it fly. But why is Nicki so deeply pressed over this Super Bowl drama? According to her, the world's out here celebrating Kendrick when Lil Wayne should be the one getting flowers, especially with the halftime show happening in his hometown of New Orleans. Nicki got real emotional in another post saying, "God forbid if Wayne was to leave this earth right now, the culture would be in mourning." She pointed out how people always say we should give legends their credit while they're still here, but instead, folks are out here playing politics with people's legacy. She added, "God ain't sleep." And Nicki didn't stop there. She made it clear just how much Lil Wayne's done for her and the game. She said, "Y'all don't even know half of what Lil Wayne has done for me and so many others. Wayne had me and Drake on tour without even signing any papers. He was on all my mixtapes, no contracts, no questions. He literally changed the face of hip hop. And the hair too. If you know, you know." She even credited Wayne for influencing the look and style of today's generation. He inspired people to tap their faces, lock their hair. He inspired your faves to want to be great MCs. He never did this for money. It was always about the music. Now, fans are connecting all of this to the long-standing tension between Jay-Z and Birdman, and Nicki's convinced Jay's not just coming for Drake, but for Wayne too. She accused Jay of trying to score points by denying Lil Wayne his rightful spot. In her words, denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego. That's a heavy accusation, and it's turning this Super Bowl moment into a full-blown industry showdown. Your hate for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne. That's what folks are saying as this feud keeps spiraling, and Nicki is calling it all out. She went on a full rant showing love to Lil Wayne, saying he's the GOAT, and calling out New Orleans like, "Nola, what's good?" And then she flipped it on the whole Super Bowl controversy, comparing Wayne's situation to how Eminem stood his ground to bring out 50 Cent, a white man move, sad house ninja tings, but it's good for them, she posted. The shade was heavy, and people started clowning Nicki too. Some said, "Ain't no way Nicki just called Uncle Wayne a young black man, stop playing." But she wasn't backing down. To really get what's happening now, you gotta rewind to where this mess started, 2009. That's when Birdman gave an interview with Tropical TV in London and boldly said he believed Lil Wayne was the #1 rapper right after Jay-Z took first place on MTV's Hottest MCs in the Game. That didn't sit well with Hov. Jay-Z responded in typical icy fashion on the track HAM with Kanye West. He rapped, "I'm like, really? $500 million, really? You got baby money? Keep it real. They ain't got my lady money." That was a direct shot at Birdman. Of course, Wayne wasn't about to let that slide. He stepped in on the track, "It's good," and fired back hard. He rapped, "Talking about baby money? I got your baby money. Kidnap your girl. Get that how much you love your lady money." That bar was aimed straight at Jay, and it got the whole industry buzzing. Drake even jumped in on the same track, throwing shots of his own. "Please pardon my brother, he's just angry at you rappers who don't have your heart in your rap stuff and got too comfy." Then in 2012, during a pre-Grammy party, Wayne hopped on the mic and spit a freestyle that threw shade at the throne, aka Jay-Z and Kanye. He said, "Met a bad Redbone, took the girl home." Asked what she wanted to watch, she said, "Surely not the throne." Jay clapped back on La Familia with a line that made things even more personal. He warned Wayne not to even breathe in the direction of his family or there'd be consequences. It was clear, Hav was ready to pull up. And in the rap world, when you beef with one, you beef with the whole crew. So Jay's issue with Birdman turned into smoke with Wayne, Drake, and even Nicki, which is exactly why Nicki's convinced Jay-Z is now using Kendrick to hit back at Young Money, Cash Money, by trying to destroy Drake's momentum at the biggest stage in the world, the Super Bowl. Even with Nicki Minaj going all out defending Drake right now, fans still find it kind of weird. Why? Because the last time we checked, Nicki and Drake weren't even speaking. So what changed? Let's take it back, way back. Nicki and Drake came up together as part of Young Money / Cash Money, and their rise to fame happened almost side by side. From the beginning, they always had that playful, flirty energy. Fans even started to think something real might have been going on between them. Drake added fuel to the fire on his debut album, Thank Me Later, with the track Miss Me, where he rapped, "I love Nicki Minaj, I told her I'd admit it. I hope one day we get married just to say we did it." And it didn't stop there. Drake took it to Twitter and said, "Please refer to Nicki Minaj as Mrs. Aubrey Drake Graham. And don't stare at her too long, she's finally mine." Nicki actually reposted it and played along, saying, "Yes, it's true, Drake and I tied the knot." Fans were losing it. But Nicki later cleared the air in an interview with MTV, saying it was all a joke. She said, "Obviously Drake and I, we've played around so much with the whole marriage thing and stuff like that, so people have come to be kind of intrigued by us." Then she hit everyone with a curveball, calling Drake her brother, which definitely confused people because, yeah, that was a little awkward. Things took a turn in 2013 when rumors started flying that the two weren't even on speaking terms anymore. Fans noticed the shift, and the tension became even more obvious when Drake dropped Tuscan Leather. He rapped, "Not even talking to Nicki, communication is breaking. I dropped the ball on some personal stuff. I need to embrace it. I'm honest. I make mistakes. I'd be the second to admit it. That's why I need her in my life to check me when I'm tripping." That bar hit hard, and fans were quick to ask what happened. Later, Drake confirmed it wasn't just lyrics. He revealed that he and Nicki hadn't spoken in 8 or 9 months by the time that track came out. And so now that Nicki's riding hard for Drake again, calling out Jay-Z, defending Wayne, throwing Twitter bombs left and right, people can't help but wonder what brought them back together. Is it loyalty to Young Money? Or something deeper going on behind the scenes? Whatever it is, this reunion came with a lot of noise, and fans are locked in for whatever's coming next. Word on the street is the original fallout between Nicki Minaj and Drake happened because Nicki felt seriously disrespected. Why? Because when Drake dropped his album, he didn't include her or anyone else from Young Money. And Nicki, she wasn't having it. She made her stance loud and clear. "I'm Young Money till the death of me. Drake can do what Drake do, but Nicki Minaj is a whole different person. I think your team is your team. Who gives a damn about trying to be different? I'm always going to want my team to be a part of my project, no matter what." That was a direct call out. Later, she spoke on it in an interview with Hot 97.
Because that's how we were when we came in. So whenever I think of him, I'm like, oh, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on now, obviously we're all very busy. And it gets, shit happens. It gets a little hard to have a real connection when people are on different sides of the world and working on different things, and you just never know who people got in their ear or what they feeling, or maybe they were felt wronged in some way. I don't know, but I just know that Drake is my baby.
And Nicki,
Wayne is my everything.
And while she tried to make it seem like everything was cool, the loyalty in her voice made it obvious. Her heart was with Lil Wayne and the Young Money fam. She said Drake was just out doing his own thing, and that's what created the distance between them. Still, it looked like they squashed the tension for a minute.
All I can say is this: Lil Wayne is everything to me. I can't speak for anyone else, and what Young Money and Cash Money did for Nicki Minaj, I could never repay them for. So I am forever indebted to them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happens with any other artist, I don't know. All I can say is he's so talented, and sometimes and we've seen this. Sometimes when you're really intelligent and you're really talented, you also think a lot, and sometimes your mind is racing with thoughts, and it is what it is. People go through their own emotions, and you gotta respect it and keep it moving. I mean, I think like we all love the team. Mm-hmm. We all love Wayne, and that's what's gonna always hold us together. That's Drake is my baby.
They linked up again musically, and then Nicki dropped the Anaconda video. That lap dance she gave Drake, it had the internet in a full chokehold. People couldn't stop talking about it. It looked like the chemistry was back, but then 2015 hit and things took another nasty turn. This time, the drama didn't come from Nicki or Drake. It came from Meek Mill, who Nicki was dating at the time. Meek randomly decided to air it out on Twitter, saying, "Stop comparing Drake to me too. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album, because we found out." And just like that, a legendary rap beef exploded. Drake versus Meek Mill dominated the culture, and Nicki, she was caught right in the middle between her boyfriend and her longtime teammate. It was messy. Nicki later admitted how much it tore her up. She said, "I hate it. It doesn't make me feel good. You never want to choose sides between people you love. It's ridiculous. I just want it to be over." Drake eventually confirmed the obvious. That whole Meek Mill mess changed everything between him and Nicki. And honestly, it's no surprise. That wasn't just rap beef, it was personal. And it pulled Nicki into a storm she didn't want any part of. By the time that feud finally cooled off, the bond between Nicki and Drake just wasn't the same. Too much had gone down. Things between Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill didn't just fizzle, they exploded. They were fighting everywhere. And then came that tweet from Nicki that had everyone's jaws on the floor. She posted, "He put hands on your sister and taped it. Spit on her and taped it. Hurt me in front of your mother and sent her to the hospital. Sucking Drake's D made you feel tough again. Move on." Whew, that was brutal. Shortly after, fans noticed Nicki had unfollowed Drake on Instagram. That was it. It looked like whatever bond they had left was done. The friendship? Over. The loyalty? Cracked. But one thing about Nicki, when it comes to Young Money, she's always willing to bury the beef. Because now, she's back riding for her crew, and word on the street is that she fully believes Jay-Z stole the Super Bowl halftime show from Lil Wayne and handed it to Kendrick Lamar just to take a shot at Drake. See, this goes way beyond Young Money verses. Roc Nation. Drake and Jay-Z have been dealing with unresolved tension for years. According to fans, this might not even be about Wayne, it might be about Beyonce. Let's break it down. After Beyonce dropped her Renaissance album, the internet started whispering that Drake was trying to dim her light. And here's the wild part. Drake actually ghost wrote on that project. He helped write the song Heated, so he knew exactly when that album was dropping. But instead of letting Beyonce have her moment, Drake suddenly dropped his own album, Honestly Nevermind, in 2022. And people noticed. A lot of fans felt it was shady, like Drake was trying to grab the spotlight during her season. Apparently, Jay-Z didn't take that lightly, and it hit even harder because Jay was already salty about what went down with TIDAL. Back when Jay-Z was trying to build Tidal into a real threat in the streaming world, he reached out to a bunch of big-name artists to support him, including Drake. But instead of joining in, Drake reportedly went behind Jay's back, spilled all the inside info about Tidal to Apple execs, and cut his own deal. Basically, he sold Jay out and got paid for it. Fans say Jay-Z never let that go. So now, between the Tidal betrayal, the Renaissance timing drama, and this Super Bowl headline snub for Wayne, it's all starting to look like Jay is making moves behind the scenes to strategically block Drake and send a message to Young Money while he's at it. Look, beefing with Jay-Z in rap is one thing, but messing with his family or messing with his money, that's where the line gets drawn. And trust, Jay never forgets when someone crosses it. This whole situation has fans losing it online. The drama's boiling over, but a lot of people are saying it's really not that deep. It's just smart business. Jay-Z backing Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl? It makes total sense right now. K-Dot's on fire, and pairing him with the biggest halftime stage in the world is a power move, period. But not everybody's giving Drake a pass. Some folks are saying this is exactly what he deserves after everything that's been coming to light. The shady stuff with Beyonce, sneaking out that surprise album while knowing she was gearing up to drop Renaissance, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Now folks are saying, this Kendrick moment, yeah, that's karma. They're dragging Drake on social media, saying he needs to rebrand, go ghost, or change his whole identity. The disrespect is crazy. And now with the Super Bowl creeping up, he might not even be able to watch the show without catching secondhand smoke. But for Jay-Z, this is business. It's strategy. He backed the hottest artist right now, and Kendrick just reignited rap like it's 2015 again. For the culture, this is a win. But let's talk about it. Do you think Jay-Z is really trying to control the rap game and take Drake out? Or is this just cold-blooded business? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, share it with your people, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one, 'cause this rap saga, it's far from over.